Oh.
Morning, day 5.
Yep. Yeah, it is. How you feel?
Better than day 4.
Yeah.
But still woke up hungry, ate my berries. The mouse gave me problems all night.
Oh yeah.
It wasn't just that there was a mouse around the tent, it was under my tent.
Oh,
So
you should have been able to deal with that then.
Well, I did.
Oh. And have you got the evidence to?
Well, I don't know if I hit it, but
Oh, okay.
it came awfully close.
Yeah.
Taught it a lesson for an hour at a time, and then I think it just gave up after that.
Maybe it was a different mouse each time.
No, it was the same one. It was. I could see it outside the tent. I watched it messing around. So
I slept pretty good. I got up earlier. I had a big blueberry poop.
Yeah, well, I got some news about that too.
It's about the color of my truck. Almost.
Yeah, mine wasn't good.
No?
No, I was the first time I couldn't get it out.
Oh.
Like I was panicky.
Yeah.
But I didn't want to give myself a hemorrhoid or something.
Yeah, yeah.
So I sat there for a while contemplating whether I should just try to
fish it out.
Well, I did a little bit of that too. I tried, but it was
TMI. This clip isn't going to show up on YouTube.
This is going to be a TMI one for sure. Yeah, so then I you know, you can't really tell how big it is, but God, you can be on film while I'm talking about my poop. So anyway, I just gave her. It's eating just protein. It's just, I don't know, man.
Doesn't make for healthy poop?
No, it was like solid as a rock.
Oh. Weird.
So even with all those berries we ate, didn't soften it.
Even though you're pretty hydrated too.
Oh, fully hydrated all the time.
Yeah.
Just the wrong diet to make things work.
I had a dream. I had a dream that we were catching frogs. Bullfrogs with a worm on a hook.
Yeah.
I had a dream that I was shopping for candy for one of my daughters. I didn't really have like food dreams though. I had a dream that there were bones here. We'd been picking through bones. And then we got in trouble for camping here, and then the guy in charge of this area came, but I knew him, so then it was okay, and we told him we were kind of cleaning up the campsite a bit. That was weird. And I had a dream that I heard this growling noise.
It's probably you.
And it's probably me in my sleep, right?
Yeah.
But I unzipped my tent and I peeked outside, and you were just ravaging this birch tree. And I couldn't tell if you were trying to break the stick and you were getting frustrated, so you were using your teeth, or if you were actually trying to like eat the bark.
It's probably eating the bark. You
know when you check the trail camera from Puddle Lake?
Yeah.
You were like that. So I checked my line when I got up earlier, just out of curiosity, and mostly because I saw there was tension on the line, and I reeled it in. At first I thought I had a turtle, because the bullhead had gone down into the weeds and it was wrapped up a little bit, so there was a lot of weight on the line. And then the further I reeled it in, the less weight there was. And then in the end I had this guy. And the thing about bullheads is that they don't die. Stripped. Huh. I think this guy...
No bait. All gone. So...
He's hooked pretty good, but... What I find weird is their little eyes don't look very fishy. Does that look like a fishy eye to you?
Don't look at the screen when you do it. Just look at that.
Yeah.
There you go.
Alright, there, now I look better. So there's the...
you should show the face. Show the face head on. That'll be a good thumbnail. Look at those little barbs.
Yeah. So these barbs in the pectoral fin, they're very, very, very strong spines. And if you get impaled on them, they can inject a venom that is supposed to be incredibly painful.
He's just cut around
the head, but not deep. And then what I'm trying to do is just get enough skin to get a grip on it, and then Woodbeard's going to grab him by the lip. Got a good grip.
What if we go right through the head?
Okay.
We're improvising here, folks.
Yep. And then you're just trying to peel all the skin off in a tidy fashion.
I was just saying off camera that we might have missed a couple fish in the night on our passive lines, considering I had no bait on mine.
Good.
And but that's how we go. Like, we could active fishing with a canoe. We could easily get that amount of meat within an hour's work, right? But it costs us work. This doesn't cost us any work. But look what we got. Out of 2 nights passive line set, we caught 1 handful of meat.
Mm-hmm.
So active anything is a lot better than passive. But there's that cost. Just trying to get in the frame here a little bit. But there's still the cost associated with doing it. Same as active hunting versus passive hunting, or deadfall traps versus passive traps, or active hunting versus deadfall or passive traps. When passive traps work, they're great, but when they don't work, you're actually losing the time and you need to replace the calories some other way. So if we just relied on passive traps and passive fishing like this, it wouldn't be a payout. But if we had like a gill net, we talked about having a gill net, we could probably clean this lake out within a couple of days. We got 2 bullhead. Look how small that one is.
Oh yeah.
So I'm a big fan of Bob's channel. I'll link that up down here because he recommended we use dog food. So I thought I'd bring some of that just for a try because the pike has not been working. We've got 2 little tiny baby bullhead. You probably can't even see them.
So the crayfish is there on top of the pike. There's also a giant water beetle down there in the bottom. I guess it wants to focus on the close mesh and not the far mesh there. That's it. So the dog food.
You want to show this little guy here?
Yeah. So the dog food outperformed the pike, I think. It's probably the predator smell, eh? It's a cute little catfish.
We're not gonna eat him.
You're back in frame here.
Alright. There's our clams and snails still purging. We've changed the water out 3 times on that. Yep, the pike's ready. Delicious. I think I need to drink some more water first.
Yeah.
On our final day, we decided to harvest some clams as the lake had a huge abundance which was not at risk of depletion. We soaked the clams overnight in several changes of water to allow them to purge. This process is required in order for the clams to expel sand that becomes trapped inside the shells when they are disturbed. So rather than having a gritty meal, sand can be removed prior to cooking. To prepare the clams, simply bring them to a quick boil. Once they open, they should be fully cooked and ready for consumption. Ideally, the clams are then fried with butter and garlic or other seasonings to make a delightful meal. In our case, we simply chewed them crudely and swallowed them nearly whole. Their texture is much like a rubber band, and so is their flavor. Clams contain about 33 to 42 calories per ounce. To live off clam meat alone, it would take around 5 pounds of clam meat per day, or about 320 medium-sized clams. Consuming and preparing this many clams would be a full daily operation, and therefore not reasonably sustainable. Because of this, and since we had plenty of lean meat already, we only sampled these clams as a curiosity. We concluded that their palatability was fair, and as we routinely discovered, they needed some butter or salt, or salted butter, to make them a more complete dish.
This one's ready for clams. You want to grab some clams?
Yeah. We'll try maybe 2 each or something.
Oh yeah, sure. Sounds good. Ready?
Yep. Got your camp gloves?
Yeah. Your camp gloves. 1, 2. All the big ones, eh? 3, 4.
And how long do we boil those for?
I don't know, we do them for 5 minutes on Puddle Lake.
But the key is they just wait till they open.
Yeah.
Once they open by themselves, they're pretty much ready.
Yeah, just like cooking the blue mussels you get from the grocery store.
You'll have to say that again.
Catfish time. Take our choke cherries off.
It's such a big piece of meat too, but maybe it'll be better to eat.
It's like they're pretty meaty for their size, right? If you compare that to a perch, there's more meat.
There are bones in there?
Yeah, there's well, their rib bones come straight out and then straight down. So you take these 2 big logs off, and then you take the side fillets off, and then you're just left with the rib cage, I think. That's my recollection.
Nice.
And we've greased the grill up with a little bit of butter, so we'll just lay that right on there.
Butter and salt?
Yeah.
Salted butter.
Yeah, yeah. Wouldn't that be nice? 2 o'clock, man.
2 o'clock.
I'm gonna get...
How much we got left?
How much butter?
How much time?
How much time?
Yeah.
I was gonna say all of it. All the butter. It's 9:30.
What a ways to go.
4.5 hours.
We're gonna go for a nap for 4.5 hours?
No, we're gonna go fishing. Maybe try call that moose.
Yeah, that'd be alright.
Oh. Oh.
Keep doing it.
Oh.
Want me to be the cow?
Oh. No, it's getting a little weird now.
Get the rifle out. I forgot the one crayfish we got too. That's gonna go in there. We have water on the boil.
Yeah. Oh, actually, this one can have all the snails in it. We'll get that back to boil.
Oh yeah, we got a snail pot. I forgot the snails. Snails. What's in the other pot there?
Choke cherries.
Choke cherries.
So if you don't know how to catch a crayfish, that big tail at the back, that's called the telson at the end where it fans, and they'll scoop it under their body really fast and shoot themselves backwards. And they'll pinch you. I don't know if they pinch hard, because I've never been pinched, but people are scared of it. So the trick is to grab them by the back of the thorax where they can't reach you. This guy will have meat in the claws, I think.
And to cook it?
To cook it, just drop it in boiling water. It's a little bit choke cherry-ish still, but it's...
Does it make you pucker?
A little bit. Like if you were going to pour that all over a venison steak or pancakes, I'd say yes. If you're going to chug that 1/3 of a cup, I'd say no.
No.
So maybe more as a condiment right now than as a...
I think it's more doable.
Yeah.
Like if you wanted to actually consume a lot.
Yep.
Because it's not, it just doesn't, well, I haven't drank very much of it. Maybe after a while it's gonna
Yeah.
dry your mouth out, but we've had creek chub, and it tastes the same as a brookie. Cooked the same way. My bet is that this catfish is going to taste about the same too. What'd you say?
Yeah, maybe a little bit different.
You think it's going to be fattier, or is there not much fat in there either?
I don't know. One for you, one for me.
Alright.
So these are the fillets off the backbone. And then we'll eat the rib fillets next. Moister.
Yeah. More, definitely more.
Softer texture.
Yeah, I can tolerate that a little bit better now than the dry pike. But the dry pike's from yesterday, so that's like leftover pike. This is fresh fish. And the pike is pretty decent fresh.
Just has a different flavor.
Yeah, it's just a different type of fish.
Mm-hmm.
It's still just a mouthful of lean protein though. Animal fat. Need some animal fat.
Look at the orange color on that. That's like the size that I was eating in Virginia. Oh, these guys are done. Whoop. Look at how weird that looks.
It's an aphrodisiac, right?
Just what we need on a man trip.
Everybody likes a little bit of clam. Even when you're in the bush.
So I think I did this last time we ate them too, but like there are a lot of endangered freshwater mussel species in southern Ontario especially that are endemic to different river systems, so you should not harvest from mussel beds in southern Ontario.
But here
they are.
Miles of them here.
Yeah.
In this lake especially.
Yeah. And these are not a at-risk species. 1, 2, how many snails you want?
Might as well do all of them.
All of them.
We had them before.
You like them, eh?
Well, we had them before and they weren't big and they were edible, so might as well pack them in there.
6.
What? Can you show the camera what they look like here?
Nope.
No, you're too busy.
7. So these are these big, long spiral snails that were... Yesterday was the first time that I've eaten them.
You don't know, we don't know what species they are, we don't really know anything about them, do we?
No, not really.
They were just found in abundance on the shore.
Yep.
Okay. And then we'll do the same thing with those.
Where'd that lid go? How to eat a crayfish. So I'm going to grab it by the thorax and by the tail. I'm going to turn it sideways and sideways and then pull it out. So there's a little bit of the gut system and it's digested algae or whatever it's been eating, pike guts maybe. And then just as best I can, I'm going to peel away some of these pieces of carapace on the back, and when I get most of halfway I should just be able to sideways work out the meat.
And the claws have some or no?
Yeah, so the claws, you have to get one of these special claw meat extraction tools. So we open that, and then what I did before was I just kind of cracked it. I guess you could do that with your teeth. So these guys there's a little bit of meat in here. I don't know if there's any fat in them though, so maybe you don't want to work so hard for more lean protein. There, that was the extent of the one claw right there. You could do the other claw too.
You're processing these now? No.
So I'm using the snail extraction tool on this tool. So we're just pulling them out.
You can also break the outer shell with your finger if it's brittle enough, and these ones happen to be.
Yeah.
And just fish it out with your fingers.
Yeah.
Or you could use a stick or something else, but yeah.
I'm slightly concerned about cutting myself on
Right.
a piece of broken shell. But they're very fragile. I think we might have showed that in another video, right? Like they're like an eggshell.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's because there's low calcium here or if they're always like that, but
There's so much meat there, Jer.
look at it all.
You want to try to sample it?
Yeah.
Here. Do a little bit of bush clam.
I was thinking about Puddle Lake. We had butter, and did we also have garlic on that trip?
Yeah, butter and garlic.
I don't know.
Cheers.
Cheers.
To bush.
I might not chew. This might just go down as it is. But
To bush clam.
Mm-hmm. No, I'll chew. It's very watery and chewy.
It's alright. Tastes like an organ. Like I might imagine an organ tasting.
The texture.
Mm-hmm.
Do you eat any organ meats?
No.
No? Deer heart and liver. Grouse hearts and livers. Sometimes a deer kidney if it's a young animal.
Not yet.
No? Oh. I'll have to give it a try.
So yeah, you don't chew these. These would be good. They're not sandy.
No.
We
Actually, we got all the sand out of them. There's no grit.
I changed it twice last night, and then once again this morning. No grit. So right behind me we have some wild raisin right here, and some of the berries are ripening. So I grabbed a handful before, and I've never tried them. It's a little purple berry. Apparently has a pretty big pit in it. I wanted to give it a try, so I have a reference of what it tastes like, and I can tell you guys what it tastes like too. It's good. What did you like in the flavor too?
Well, I find from tree to tree you can get them and they have a real good nutmeg kind of a flavor with them. They're kind of like a mushy grape in some ways.
Yeah. I've got
It's just
fish in my beard.
That's authentic.
It is authentic.
You know, if you had candy stuck in your beard, that'd be... Am I getting in the frame here?
You might as well.
Okay.
You want to talk about wild raisin, or?
Well, the grouse love them.
Yeah.
I like them, but they're hard to process. Like I think you do...
There's a big seed in it.
Yeah.
Can you eat the seed?
I don't know.
I won't, but...
No, I wouldn't. But I think you can process them the same way as the choke cherries, right? Like if you want to make a jam out of them, which I've never tried, but is on my list, you would do the same kind of processing and then put them through a jelly bag. Just get the juice out.
Yeah, they're alright. There's lots of them and easy to pick, right?
You might be able to put them through a moolie also, like a masher.
You can see here. There's a good handful there, but there's a whole row of them. All throughout here.
You often find them in enormous quantity. Just
Yeah.
piles of them.
They're all over the place in here. Another huge, massive bush over here as well.